Everybody wants to hear yes, and they've been taught and trained to hear yes. And that is the interesting thing about the philosophy, is that it is totally counterintuitive. What we teach is that in order to get more yeses, in order to hear yes more often, you've got to be willing to hear more no's. In fact, we say you've got to go out and intentionally increase the number of times you are hearing the word no in order to get to those yeses. And so that's the fundamental philosophy. Of course, there's a lot behind it, because we do have all the psychology behind it and all the emotions that are wrapped up in getting those no's and feeling like we're failing and all of that. So that's kind of the surface level thing. And Richard was working in a menswear store. He was, and this is years ago, kind of in the beginning of his sales career, he was failing miserably. He was hoping to improve. The district manager, a man by the name of Harold, was going to come in and visit the store, and Rich thought that if he had a great sale while this guy was in the store, that it would maybe buy him some time to improve. So the district manager comes in this one day, Richard's there, they open the store, everything's great, customer walks in, Rich is the first salesperson in that morning, so he gets to help this first customer, and the customer who walks in happens to say, I want to buy an entire wardrobe of clothing. Rich gets to help this guy, and he's like, okay, great, so they're going from thing to thing, and he's selling the guy shirts and ties and slacks and belt and underwear and pocket square and this whole sale, rings them up. It's like $1,100. And again, this is years ago, but it's still this great sale. Rings him up, sends him on his way, and is thinking that he's going to be congratulated by Harold, the district manager who's visiting, thinking that Harold's going to be so impressed. Harold doesn't say anything. Finally, they're standing side by side, and Harold says to Rich, he's like, that was a nice sale. And Rich's like, well, yeah, it was $1,100. That was great. And Harold says, yeah, but can I ask you a question? Just want to ask you a little question. And Rich says, okay. And Harold says, out of curiosity, Richard, out of everything that you show that man, what did that customer say no to? And Rich thought about the whole sale, and he's like, oh, geez, Harold, if you saw, I sold him all this stuff. What do you mean? What did he say no to? I guess he didn't say no to anything. And then Harold asks Rich the really important question, which is, well, then how did you know he was done? And yeah, it was kind of hit Rich like a punch, really. He was floored. He's like, well, I guess I knew he was done because I was done. It's like he got to that, his own mental spending limit, and he sent the customer on his way, and that was it. And that was kind of that moment where Harold, and we all need leaders in our lives to kind of point us in the right direction. Well, that was Harold for Rich. So Rich took that message. He got the message, and then I thought I was a great salesperson, and he tells me this entire story, just like I told you. And I said, oh my goodness, you know what? I don't like to hear no either. And I realized that as great a salesperson that I thought I was, I actually shied away from hearing no because I didn't want to look pushy. I didn't want to look overly aggressive. I did, all of that.